What if the single greatest symbol of success in our society is also your biggest financial liability? We're taught from a young age that the goal is a bigger number, a six-figure salary, the corner office, the number on the paycheck that validates all the hard work, the late nights, the sacrifices. It's the key, we're told, to freedom, security, and happiness. A high income is seen as the ultimate safety net, the solution to all of our problems. But for a growing number of people, it has become the exact opposite. It has become a cage. A beautifully decorated, comfortable cage, but a cage nonetheless. They feel trapped, anxious, and more financially fragile than ever, despite earning more money than they ever thought possible. This isn't just about bad spending habits. It's a fundamental paradox of modern wealth. In this video, we're going to deconstruct the myth of the high salary. We will explore the psychological and financial traps that are baked into our pursuit of more, and we'll uncover why the very thing you think is building your freedom might actually be taking it away. We'll examine this through a concept many have heard of, but few truly understand: lifestyle creep. At its core, this is the simple idea that as your income increases, your spending tends to increase to match it, or even exceed it. But it's not just about buying more stuff. It's about a fundamental shift in your identity, one that can lock you into a life you never consciously chose. We need to understand how this machine works if we ever hope to escape it. Most people believe the story goes like this. You work hard, you get a promotion, your salary doubles. Suddenly, you have breathing room. You can pay off your student loans, save for a down payment, finally take that vacation. The stress melts away. The high salary is a tool, a powerful engine for building the life you want. You see it everywhere. The friend who gets a job at a big tech firm and suddenly leases a German luxury car. The lawyer who makes partner and moves into a sprawling house in the suburbs. These are the markers of success, tangible proof that they've made it. The salary is the enabler, the force for good that unlocks a better, more comfortable existence. It's a simple equation. More income equals more options, equals more freedom. That's the promise. But if that promise were true, why do so many high earners feel like they're running in place on a treadmill that just keeps getting faster? If the salary is the solution, why does it so often feel like the source of the problem? The first crack in this myth appears the moment you start looking not at what the money buys, but at what it costs. To truly understand this, we have to look at that salary increase not as a single event, but as the start of a chain reaction. Let's analyze it through the lens of that concept we mentioned, lifestyle creep. When you get that first big raise, say from $60,000 to $100,000 a year, your brain doesn't just register more money. It registers a change in status. You are now a six-figure earner. Your internal benchmark for what is normal begins to shift, almost unconsciously. The $200 celebratory dinner doesn't feel like an extravagance anymore. It feels earned. The $1,000 weekend trip feels like a necessity to decompress from your more demanding job. The small apartment that was once cozy now feels cramped. Your entire baseline of existence quietly inflates. This isn't a moral failing, it's a deeply human response. We are wired to adapt to our surroundings. The problem is, liabilities adapt with us. What was once a want becomes a need, and that need now carries a much higher price tag. Suddenly you realize that your increased salary isn't building a bigger safety net. It's just supporting a more expensive lifestyle. You're not getting ahead. You're just upgrading the cost of standing still. The freedom you thought you were buying was an illusion. In reality, you were building a more luxurious prison, where the bars are made of car payments, mortgage obligations, and social expectations. And this brings us to the most dangerous consequence of a high salary, the point where the illusion completely shatters. If your lifestyle has inflated to match your income, you are no longer in control. The job is. This is the phenomenon of the golden handcuffs. Think about the person earning $300,000 a year in a high-stress job they've grown to despise. They want to leave, to start their own business, to take a lower-paying job that gives them a sense of purpose. But they can't. Why? Because the $500,000 mortgage, the 2 luxury car leases, the private school tuition for their children, all of it is entirely dependent on that specific $300,000 salary. Their high income has not given them freedom. It has taken it away. It has reduced their options to 1, keep doing the thing they hate, or face financial ruin. The salary has become their single point of failure. An injury, a layoff, a market downturn. Any of these could cause the entire fragile structure to collapse. If the salary is capable of creating this much anxiety and this little freedom, then what are we truly chasing when we pursue a bigger paycheck? To answer that, we have to go beyond the numbers and look at the source of this trap, our own psychology. This isn't just a story about individual financial choices. It's a story about social pressure and the definition of success we've inherited. We don't make these decisions in a vacuum. We see our colleagues, our friends, and the influences on our screens, and we measure our own lives against theirs. This idea is woven into the very fabric of the American dream, which has slowly morphed from a promise of stability and opportunity into a relentless pursuit of more. It started as a humble vision, a home you could own, a steady job, a better future for your children. But over time, that vision has been scaled up and supersized. The dream is no longer just to participate, it's to win. And the scoreboard is your salary and the things it can buy. Your high income becomes less a tool for your own life and more a signal to others about your place in the hierarchy. But I know what you might be thinking. This is all too cynical. What about the power of a high salary for investing? For building real generational wealth? Surely earning more money is the fastest path to financial independence. That moment of sacrifice, of living below your means to invest the difference, seems to refute everything we've said. That is the ultimate act of financial virtue. Or is it? Let's deconstruct that final defense. Investing is, without a doubt, the most powerful tool for building wealth. But when your identity is tied to your income, even this virtuous act can become another bar on the cage. The focus shifts from, how much do I need to live the life I want, to, how can I make this number get bigger, faster? The portfolio becomes another scoreboard, another source of comparison and anxiety. You're not investing for freedom. You're investing to win a game where the finish line keeps moving. The goal is no longer to fund a life of purpose, but to accumulate for accumulation's sake. Even the smartest financial decision becomes a servant to the same psychological trap, the relentless need for more. Your greatest virtue, your discipline to save and invest, is still chained to your greatest vulnerability, defining your worth by a number. So let's assemble the full picture. It begins with the intoxicating promise of a big salary. That promise leads to an unconscious inflation of your lifestyle. This new expensive baseline forges the golden handcuffs, tying you to a job you may not even like. The social pressure to keep up appearances reinforces the cage, while the act of investing, which should be your escape route, often becomes just another way to keep score. It's a self-perpetuating cycle. The final breaking point comes when you have a moment of terrifying clarity. A health scare that reminds you that your time is finite. A moment with your family that you realize you were too busy or stressed to be present for. It's the moment you finally calculate the true cost of that high salary, and you realize the price is no longer worth paying. Now that we understand the intricate design of this prison we've built for ourselves, the most important question remains. What does the key look like? How do you break free? The answer loathes everything to do with earning more, and everything to do with redefining why you earn at all.